Joshua Fabia. No, just thank you for having me on the show. And yeah, I appreciate everyone's time and energy listening. In the beginning, I would say it was just a normal client training type relationship. And everything in my perception of reality was that Diego Sanchez is a professional MMA fighter who is employing me to help him as he has a lot of healing necessary and wanting to change his point of view on how to do things a little differently. Because in the past, he had been kind of just willing to run into punches. And I was offering him another option, like, we can move out of the way first, you know? And this was all very interesting to him, and the relationship seemed very normal, like everything else in my career and my business. I deal with lots and lots of people. Everything seemed pretty normal. Diego was definitely a celebrity. You know, he had some celebrity asshole tendencies. You know, he didn't like tipping, and he did some weird stuff in front of me that, you know, threw up some red flags. But over time, just talking to him, it kind of just seemed, like I said, well, I just mean things like you get a divorce and you have a child, but you get a 1-bedroom condo. Like, things just didn't make sense to me. But I'm thinking, you know, okay, he's got his own plans. He knows what he's going to do. I mean, maybe it's just super temperate. Like, I don't know, you know, and I'm wondering, why is he driving around a $3,000 Mercedes, right? Like, just questions that throw up flags. But I'm thinking, hey, he's telling me he's frugal. He's saving his money. He's okay, you know, okay, hey. Well, I just mean, like, from everything on the outside, as a trainer that's seeing somebody 3 days a week, and then I I moved him into the condo. I helped him in the divorce and this little moment. And, you know, everything seemed pretty much the same as anybody else and under these circumstances to a certain degree. Okay, those are several questions, and they're all very easy to answer. Let me work backwards, though. The first one you said, what is the method? Well, you can go onto YouTube right now and go look at body hardening, and you will see some of the most ridiculous things way beyond what you see me doing. What I was doing are gentle in comparison to what you will see others doing, okay? It's a very normal practice, body hardening. It's teaching. So the reality is, okay, that's beautiful for McGregor to say, but he also just got knocked the fuck out. So your body hardening, what it does, let me just give you perspective here from someone who's not involved in combatives or has no idea what is truly going on. The body has an ability to perceive the angle and the direction of impact, okay, the body. The way the body perceives this is through contact first. So if I am to, for example, push you, your body can understand the direction where I'm going to push you. If now I pull away, I'm not touching you, I'm showing you the push, your body can anticipate and will move out of the way. All right, now what happens when I do it with a fist? So what you're seeing there is, for one, 50 times out of contact. Point is that in body hardening, you could not favor one part of the body, Summer, as every part of your body is vulnerable. So to balance that, you wouldn't be so ashamed to have your face touched. And so what's really going on is that, because I am not hitting him hard enough to damage anything, not even surface tissue. And the reality is he's been trained to handle much, much, much harder impacts than that. And what is happening in that is not training. Are you guys, I mean, like, do you see how ridiculous that narrative setup is? No, the truth is that video was leaked by who? It's the highest production fucking video I've ever had done. You think it's the UFC? Yeah, it's the fucking UFC that came and filmed us and didn't say a fucking word about, oh, that looks dangerous. No, they're cheering us on and they love it. And it's all fucking set up. It's all set up. I'll send you the video of the full amount of context because that's what I have to do is record everything. And you'll see them spraying him down with water. And it's a fucking shoot. It's a real Hollywood, man. It's fake. Oh, well, now we're getting somewhere. See, finally someone asked me the right questions. See, nobody's ever talking to me, for one, about any of the training that I do that is so scandalous because nobody really wants to hear any of the answers. Just the same, nobody's been asking the correct questions because nobody in the MMA world wants those answers. So the truth is, I've been privy to seeing some things, one, that are behind the scenes and are of an industry that is very ugly and very dirty. And because I'm not in the industry and I have no benefit of the industry, I'm the only one willing to speak upon it. Because I'm not part of the feeder system and I make no money off of this, and I'm not over here being a person that promotes violence or even endorses this sport or industry. I just have it all together. So what we got here is we got to go back to how I was starting with my perception. And see, my perception is I'm helping a guy and he leaves a gym. It becomes a big scandal. I'm just all of a sudden in the middle of a lot of drama, and I'm just worrying about taking care of this guy. And the more I'm taking care of him, the more I'm realizing he needs a lot more help than some of my other clients. Like, this is pretty heavy. And as I'm doing this and I'm being his trainer and his coach and his manager, I'm now at the fight, one of the fights, the first fight that I'm the only coach and cornerman at the UFC for Diego. They pull me away from him behind the scenes before the fight 3 different times to harass me about every little thing I'm doing. It's been going on for 2 years. You got to let me tell you this to understand some things. So this moment happens where the Nevada State Commission comes in and leans on Diego, and he has to throw a fucking fight. Now, I have him recorded. You go watch the fight, and it's the only fight in Diego's ever threw a punch. The way that they did it is in the lean, which is in talking to somebody and dangling their license and explaining, are you really trying to hurt this man? You're not trying to hurt him, are you, Diego? You're a sportsman, Diego. You've always been a good guy, Diego. You're not going to do anything with malicious intent, are you, Diego? Way you call it. But the Nevada State Commission's not supposed to come in 30 minutes before a fucking fight and come and kick everybody out and come and talk that type of shit to a fighter and get in their head. Then on top of it, the last time Diego was a sportsman, he was a wrestler. So the first thing he comes out and does is goes and takes this guy's leg. And he never throws a punch. So you tell me, how come my fighter that's been trained for 10 weeks to strike didn't throw a strike? Part of the lean, and this part of the lean in the UFC is fucking with the fake profiles, putting out the negative stuff, and doing the thing. So in my perception, I was just in the wave of this. I kind of like am perceiving it. And so you see me in the history of everything I did, I go to bat for Diego. Because I am witnessing very strange things, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I'm feeling the UFC is giving me a weird rub from the very beginning. And now, if I fast forward you to now this separation, which is due to me leaving Diego because of me finding out new information. So what has happened is I am getting the process of finding out that we need to get the medical records from his ex-wife. Diego's in good communication with his ex-wife. I'm thinking, hey, go ahead. Go ahead and ask her for them. Summer, let me explain. They don't want to give Diego any of the contact information to resource that, so making it easily. Great, I don't need it. You can give it to Diego. What my point is that in the process of trying to get it from his ex-wife that Diego's saying he didn't even know she had it, which was all news to everybody. Diego's in conversation with her, asking for it, and she says, "Oh, you can have the lawyer ask for it." And that threw up some red flags. So I then am talking with Diego while he's texting her, and I said, "Type this, please. Let me see it." And I wrote, "So for the record, you're not going to release my medical records." But let me please finish where I'm at, because I'm kind of getting to some points, and you wanted the points. So I'm asking her, and then she finally says, she's like, "Oh, fuck you, Josh," da-da-da-da. And then Diego goes to go take his daughter to school or to the park or something. And his ex-wife calls. And Diego's talking to her, and then she's saying, "Oh, yeah, okay, I'll send it," and da-da-da-da-da. So I sent you the email from his ex-wife, Summer, and read it then, of where this email is sent to the UFC talking about Diego's mental instability in 2018. I did not start working with or working for Diego till 2019 in May. So by this time, I end up being the person associated to all this crazy, as the UFC did not do anything for him, offer him any services, as his wife is saying, "We're so concerned." And then as Diego is having mismatched fight. Hold on. So I'm trying to explain my perception, and my perception of things is one thing at one time. Now, all of a sudden, I find out that your ex-wife is talking personally to Dana White, Sean Shelby, Hunter, about your medical stuff, and nobody's told me anything. Nobody's warned me, said Diego's anything. And so what is now the feeling? What are you talking about? There's no naked wrestling in Aruba. Diego knows exactly what's on there, and you can go look. It's all just training. What is the problem? I like how you're in the media and you don't know that market. Concerned about playing with the tantalizing words, sexually exploiting him at all. Full exploitation if there's no sexual videos or sexual anything of him out there. What are we talking about here? And this concept of talking about, like, again, I've been attacked nonstop, and you asked me to come on like you were going to listen. I'm trying to express how I feel about what has happened in my time of 2 years of being slandered in the UFC, working for a guy that falsely represented himself as a regular person. As I get to more information, as I'm with the lawyer, and the lawyer talks to Diego and asks Diego about his education, and he starts talking about he was in special education. Holy shit, huge red flags, man. This is not at all what anyone has perceived. And Diego is not anywhere near what anybody knows, man. And Diego has been an addict. He hadn't told anybody for the past 5 months. I was his sponsor, living with him, that I had to live there because he was broke and lost all his money and strung out on kratom and alcohol and 30 other substances, that he has sexual abuse issues. No, he didn't say any of that, man. And I've been holding up all this. I've been doing everything. And everybody's coming at me. I'll put out all the proof. I got all the proof. I'll put out all the video, man. Advantage of me for 2 years, as I have been fighting for him and putting myself on the line for him with zero benefit. I'm the one getting death threats. I don't know of any family members he's ever disowned. When you were talking about this moment, it was because it was feeling like I was going to be between him and his mother, and I'm not going to do that. And that's one of the big red flags. That, and that Diego is probably special needs. He needed to be properly cognitively studied. He never wanted to do any of that. Brain study is one thing. Cognitive study and evaluation of other things to find out that the poor guy is not the same. Listen, we're in New Mexico, and if you're special needs in New Mexico, they just push you through school. So let me tell you another secret, and really want anybody to know. So Diego took steroids in high school to win the high school state wrestling.